Hello there! Today we are going to talk about Python expressions. So we have finished studying programming from the console and we go further, and today we will study how to write a Python expression, for example, for selecting features. So let's start. Let's press button select features, and here you can see the expression button and the function editor button. As you can see, I have already created a custom group with some functions, but we will create a new group with a new function. So let's go to the function editor. Here we will see the default expression with some code, and of course you can press help, or maybe it will be open already. And here you can read the description of what do you see here. So first of all, as you can see, there are some imports. In here we can write some imports, we can import some libraries, some functions, and so on. And then you can see the QGIS function decorator. This is decorator to create a group, to create a function in this group. So there are several parameters there. For example, args defines you the number of arguments. The group is just a title of the future group that will be created. And for example, referenced columns is a list of columns, is a list of attributes of fields that you will use in your function. So by default, we can delete it, and by default, this value is all attributes except geometry. So let's create a simple function. For example, let's delete it. Let's create a new group. For example, my new group. Then our function will have a title mySum. There will be two values as an input parameters. Value 1, value 2, and several other values if you want. It would be your input parameters. Then feature is just a feature, because this function will go as a for loop for each feature in the layer. So in each iteration you will work with one feature, and the parent is just a QGIS expression object. So let's click save and load functions and go to expressions. Here we see my new group and our function mySum. So let's click on it. First of all, we see the expression is invalid because we do not set any parameters here. For example, let's set two parameters, and here we can see a preview. So this is the result of this function. So 1 plus 2 equals to 3. So let's check, for example, 5. So it works. Let's change something. Let's, for example, use multiply, save, and check it. So 5 multiplied 2 equals to 10. It's okay. And in the right side, you see the description of this function. So how we can do it? We can use a string, and in the string you can use HTML. So to write the description of your function. It can be useful for those cases when you write a function not only for you, but for someone else. It will be useful. So let's create a new function that will select features only in the current extent. We can press plus here to create a new expression. Let's create it. This is just the file name. Press OK, and here it is. So first of all, let's change the name of the function. This would be extend function. We would not have any parameters here because we do not need them, so we delete them. So let me change the description of this function. Let me change the group. Let's delete here. So first of all, we need to understand how to debug our function, how to debug the Python expression. So that's why we need to open Python console. Here it is. And here we will see some result of the print function. And let's try. So first of all, we need to get the current extent of a map. So how to do it? For doing this, we will need to use iface.mapcanvas.extend. So this will be the current extent of our map. And let's print it. Let's save it. Expression, delete here, my new group, extend func. And as you can see, here we will see the error. We can press more info and get the error. So name iface is not defined. So we understand it, we understand what does it mean, and we go to the function editor and we understand that we need to write another import to import iface because when you work from the Python console, it is already imported, but here you need to import it. So you can import iFace from the QGIS utils. We write from QGIS util import everything, and now we can use it. So let's press save, go to expression, and one more time you see that in the Python console we get the print result. So this is our extent, this is a QGIS rectangle object, this is the minimum longitude and maximum longitude and minimum latitude and maximum latitude. Now we need to go to the function editor and get the geometry of each feature. Okay, let's create a new variable fitGeom and assign it to the feature geometry. So such method will return us the geometry of each feature we work with. Let's print it. Let's save, go to expression. So you can see our QGIS rectangle and then QGIS geometry. So we work with the point layer, that's why this is the point. Let's go further and let's intersect these two geometries. So if our extent intersects the feature, the result will be true, and if not, the result will be false. So we create a variable result, assign it to the feature geom intersects extent, and let's return it. Let's save it, and let's click select features. And as you can see, we get QGIS geometry equals to null. So let's go to the Python expression and understand what does it mean. When you click on select features, Python expression goes through each feature and try to return true or false. But in this case, there is no geometry in each feature. And we need to get the geometry of features using uses geometry parameter. So in the help, you can see this. Here it is, uses geometry parameter. And we need to set it to true to get an access to the feature geometry. So by default, it equals to false. So let's do it. So we write uses geometry equals to true, and let's try again. So we press select button, everything is okay. QGIS geometry return us the geometry of points, and here on the map we can see that all features are selected. So let's check it. Let's change the extent of a map. For example, here, and as a result we want to select 5 features of this layer. So let's press select features again. As you can see, 5 matching features selected. Let me zoom out, and here it is. And now let's go to our Python expression and remove all unnecessary rows. Here we are, function editor. So we do not need to print the extent, we do not need to print feature geometry, and of course we can change these 2 rows to 1 row, for example like this. So it will return us true or false. As you can see, to write your own Python expression for future use is very easy, I suppose, and you understand how to print something from Python expression to debug your code, you understand how to create your group, you understand how to use the geometry of features. So for today that's it, and in the next videos we'll try to create our own Python tool. So feel free to write comments under this video, send us your feedback and subscribe on this channel.